manufacturing, technology, and a new cultural hegemony. We discuss all of this with Erin Elmore, Executive Director of USA Strong, on the Falkirk Center podcast, starting now. Hey, welcome to another exciting Patriot edition of the Falkirk Center podcast here at Liberty University. I'm joined this afternoon by Erin Elmore, Executive Director of USA Strong. Erin, it is so great to see you.
So great to see you, but it was more fun to see you last week in person.
That's right. You were at the Trump International Hotel. You were there for our first ever Freedom Summit. I want you to tell our audience, some of the folks who may not have seen what we did in DC. What is USA Strong?
So USA Strong is an America-first grassroots organization looking to restore greatness to the American middle class. We want to make sure that the United States enters fair trade deals. We want to make sure that manufacturing jobs are brought back to the United States. We really want to prioritize the American citizen, American worker. We need a strong, vibrant middle class. And right now, our country is sort of in a crisis because of China. And China is truly synonymous with globalism. It has been enough is enough is enough as we sit and idly watch as China steals our intellectual property. They harm our citizens. They lie and they cheat their way into global dominance. And this has to end. So I am here with USA Strong to make all of these changes to really bring that American experience back home. We don't want something that's stamped made in China that breaks in 3 days and we throw away through our garage. We want something that's proud, made in the USA. So that's really what we're working on. And that's the endeavor that I have looking forward. And I absolutely love it. But here's the important thing if you want to talk about manufacturing. That hits a little bit close to home with the coronavirus. Did you know that per the Department of Commerce, 97% of our antibiotics are made in China?
Whoa. Hang on. 97% of all antibiotics is coming from China, not in the United States.
Yes.
That's insane. Okay.
And even to make it sound more insane, but true, there's a great book called China RX by Gibson. China per that book, China has exclusives on the manufacturing of anesthesia, AIDS, HIV drugs, and several cancer drugs. So that is also mind-blowing and quite terrifying. Imagine if there was a disruption to the supply chain. United States citizens would die. Imagine what would happen to our military if they needed these medicines. So this is a massive problem. Thank God for senators like Marsha Blackburn in Tennessee, who's working really hard to get legislation out there and voted on and passed that's going to stop some of this and bring the manufacturing back to the United States. Graham is also powerful in this. He had a great statement the other day, and this is a little bit terrifying as well. All of our PPE, about 90%, also comes from China. And that's what our hospital workers, doctors, nurses, use for patients on a daily basis.
So Erin, on manufacturing, because I think this is something that a lot of people miss. When you think not only about PPE or you think about prescription RX or anything that Big Pharma is doing, that's costly. That's huge. It poses not only a health risk, but a national security risk if we're relying on China for our supply chain. But what I don't think most people understand is that it's not just that. It's literally just about every industry, right? Imaginable. Major industry, not only healthcare. When you think about manufacturing, we are so dependent on China. And when right now there is a risk that worldwide a new cultural hegemony is coming forth, and China could be the dominant cultural hegemony going into the rest of the 21st century, right? This has massive implications, not only economically, but for freedom around the world.
I mean, China isn't the nation that wants to come on our land with troops and tanks and take us out that way. They are a silent hegemonic killer. That's what they want to do. In the next 100 years, they want to take over our culture, take over our way of thinking, destroy our religion, our freedom, our nation, everything. There's a great book on this topic by Michael Pillsbury. It's 100-Year Marathon. And he really lays into all of this. And the more you read, the more afraid I truly do become. And I think that's why organizations like USA Strong are so important. But the good news is we have a president that is now standing up to China. The left is completely intertwined with the Chinese Communist Party, and it's terrifying and sick. And just another statistic for you. According to the Economic Policy Institute, since 2001, when China joined the World Trade Organization, the United States has lost 3.7 million manufacturing jobs and jobs overall. So this is really, really terrifying. We need to make some serious changes as a nation, whether it's through legislation, grassroots movements such as USA Strong, or just United States citizens speaking up, because if not, we're going to be part and parcel of the Communist Chinese Party.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the alarms are going off. And this is, by the way, guys, for those of you listening, check out, we just last week, and we're going to be putting the content out there, but the Freedom Summit that took place in Washington, D.C., we had so many speakers that came in, including Erin and USA Strong, many, many others. Pillsbury was there. Actually, Bill Gertz was there. Frank Gaffney was there. We also had Sebastian Gorka, Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon, many, many others on the China issue. And I just saw an op-ed that you wrote, Erin, and it was about TikTok. And for those who don't understand what's going on, so I have friends that come to me and say, yeah, but TikTok is still useful. And for me, I'm saying by design, TikTok is a Trojan horse. You can't use the horse. The horse is meant to destroy you. So tell us a little bit about what is TikTok for those people who don't understand and they just think it's a fun app that people use and coordinate that with, like it's a music app and I'm going to go on and record a quick video and then voila, it's cute and it's fun and I'm enjoying it with my friends and I can go viral with TikTok. What's really happening with that?
Well, as you said, the word viral is this app is actually a virus. It gets on your phone and through the app, TikTok initially just sort of infiltrates like a parasite. And they get in your phone and they copy your keystrokes and they potentially have access to whatever you have on your phone, be it medical records, medical data, banking information, sensitive documents you're drafting, social security numbers, credit card numbers. It can be any number of things. So in that regard, it is a spying tool of the Chinese Communist government. And, by the way, they've had over 2 billion downloads. This is not an app that just a few people are using. It is truly a virus and it's perpetuating our lives through our children and through our phones. But there's another issue that's going on with TikTok. And by the way, senators from both sides of the aisle have raised concerns about this. It's also their content and what they do on the platform. ByteDance is the parent company. And through, ByteDance is a Chinese company. And what you got to understand about China is they're not a benevolent democracy. China is a communist dictatorship. If they want data, the Chinese government will take it from ByteDance. The company just can't say, no, I don't want to do that. God forbid they do that. They'll be incarcerated. So they can have access to any data that they want. Having said that, what's on the platform, we already know that the Chinese government has been accused of censoring content that doesn't agree with their platform, whether it's Hong Kong democracy or the Uyghurs or the conflict on the Indian border. So they censor that content and put out the content that's propaganda for their side of the story. Mm-hmm. There is nothing stopping them from interfering with any of our elections, especially the very important one coming up in November.
Wow. And so in regards to TikTok, Microsoft is trying to come in a way and salvage it. What's going on there?
So I just wrote an op-ed. We'll have to send a link whenever it's published, but I have an interesting take on this. Microsoft has its own issue. Microsoft has worked with the Chinese Communist Party and several companies in China, one being Huawei. So I don't believe that we can trust Microsoft either. This would be my advice to President Trump. President Trump, allow the sale from ByteDance of TikTok to a United States-based company. Let's make sure this company is headquartered in the United States, 1, incorporated in the United States, 2, employs mostly over 50% of United States workers, and 4, doesn't do any business with China. Win-win across the board. It would stimulate the United States economy, bring more jobs to the United States, makes the app safe for use, and give the United States government a piece of the sale. I think that the president should hire me as an advisor on this one because I have come up with singularly the best plan on the sale of TikTok. So President Trump, if you're listening, come find me. You know how to get a hold of me.
There you go. I appreciate that, Erin. I do. I want to talk about the human rights violations also. And so in China, and this is, there are a lot of things that are happening simultaneously. So you have Black Lives Matter, the organization that's funded by the Ford Foundation, right? That is essentially trying to promote Marxism in this country and to bring down every single institution. It's a deconstruction project. They want to bring down families. They want to bring down faith, churches, you name it. They want to bring down our ability to earn money and to make a living and to have businesses. So they're trying to shut down businesses at the same time. You have the NBA that's given their full endorsement of Black Lives Matter. Jonathan Isaac, God bless him, young man, Orlando Magic, stands up for his faith. Yet on the other end, the NBA has products that are being made in China that the worst human rights violations known to man. It's something that would be akin to what happened in the 1930s in Berlin, right? They have a slave labor population, the Uyghurs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but if you want to take it from the stance of the NBA, so inside of their bubble, they are living in a bubble without any regard for the outside world unless it makes them money. They're wearing Black Lives Matter shirts. They're wearing Nikes. The floor is emblazoned with Black Lives Matter. You can see it from space. But what I want to ask is, do all lives matter? Do Black lives actually matter? Do you care about slavery? Because if you care about slavery, NBA, LeBron James, James Harden, I don't even know basketball to know that these people are the biggest hypocrites on the face of the earth. Over in China, the Uyghurs, they're a population, basically they're mostly Muslim, ethnic minority that generally speaks Turkish. They are imprisoned. The women are being sterilized. Their babies are forced to be aborted, and their small children are being sold into manufacturing slave labor. The men are often used for organ harvesting. These people are slaves in every sense of the word in the year 2020. This cannot be ignored by the NBA in any way possible. How can you sit there and say slavery is bad and people should have equality and people should be treated with dignity and respect when you wear shoes? Your Nikes are made by Chinese slave labor, and that is a fact.
I remember a few years ago, Erin, it was probably 10 years ago, when Taco Bell was being protested by leftists for where they got their tomatoes, right? And it was something out of like South America. And I don't even remember all the different issues, but they were basically, it was all about the supply chain and grocers and all of that. And was it really fair trade tomatoes, right? That doesn't even hold a candle to what is happening right now in China. What is currently happening, like you say, with the Uyghurs and live harvesting of organs. When you think about the sterilization of women and all of that, I think most people are probably thinking, Erin, that they don't really believe that this is true, that this could really happen. But the reality of it is that we, behind a huge data wall in China, right, where information, the Great Wall in China is not a stone wall, it's a data wall, where information doesn't come out and information doesn't go in. So they don't want to have any information from the West, and they definitely don't want to give us information. Where would people go, Erin, to find out more about China?
Well, first of all, you could start by following USA Strong on all social media platforms. We're proud USA Strong. I think we're going to become a really great resource for the average American who doesn't know a lot about this. I read the Epoch Times every day.
Yeah.
I think also an excellent source. Gordon Chang, he is a wonderful resource for all things China. You've got to start reading books. Sebastian Gorka has a great chapter in his book, his most recent book about it. I do believe Rosemary Gibson's China RX is another great resource. And Michael Pillsbury's book about the 100-Year Marathon, also a great resource. I can only do one book at a time. Right now, I'm currently reading 2 and listening to an audiobook, but those are the ones I've tackled thus far.
Awesome.
And to be honest, I just started with USA Strong about a month ago. And to me, learning all of this about China was really eye-opening. And everyone cares about China right now because of the coronavirus. And I think these problems are just coming to light thanks to the President of the United States, who's really shining a light on the atrocities of China. Like I said earlier, we can no longer sit idly by and turn a blind eye to China stealing and lying and killing their way into global domination. It's absolutely unacceptable. We need to put America first. We need to put the American worker first. We need the United States to enter fair trade deals. This has to stop. Globalism is destroying the United States.
I want to turn to one other thing in closing, Erin. what is it that motivates you to get up there and to speak about these issues? I know you're a wife and a mother. When you think about America and you think about 2020, what's at stake not only here, this year, but years to come, what are the things that concern you the most?
I mean, truthfully, the Chinese Communist Party and their absolute intention and sole focus on destroying America is what motivates me every day. I want to stop that from happening. America is the greatest country on earth. The Constitution is the greatest document ever written. I believe in America. I love America. Worrying about America keeps me up at night every single night. And my young child, I want him to have a great country to grow up in and live in forever. And it's really terrifying right now, whether it's Black Lives Matter or the communist or Marxist in general, what they want to have happen to what our forefathers dreamed of. And I hate it, and I live for this, and I'm fighting for it every day. And what helps me is finding other like-minded individuals. And through organizations like Turning Point USA, I have found others that share the love of America. And when I have the opportunity to get together with those people at things like your Freedom Summit, it just encourages me more and energizes me more. Those of you who are listening or potentially watching, go on social media and find people like you out there. Connect with them via direct message. It will give you that friendship and framework and foundation, because oftentimes in the world, we are seen as adversarial. We are seen as wrong. We are seen as less than. I get called a racist on a daily basis by the left. Of course, we know that's not true. And those who love me and know me know that it's not true. But that is their only armor. That is their only defense mechanism, is cutting us down and treating us as less than and arguing with us and lying about us and defaming us. We have to stick with those people who have the same foundation, who have the same spirituality, who have the same religious foundation that we do. Because if we don't all stick together, there won't be anything to stick to.
I totally agree. Those are the common, the core values that bind us together, the convictions. I was just talking to Vernon Jones just a few minutes ago, and he said, one man, one woman with courage and conviction, one person standing up to speak loudly, boldly, forms its own majority. Right? It's all the majority you need. And so I think now more than ever with this cancel culture, Erin, we definitely need to come together and stick together. No silos. They need to come down. And I really appreciate all you're doing and your patriotism, your love for America, and most importantly, your love for family. That's huge.
I love my family. And you know what? Charlie Kirk, at one of our Turning Point conferences, he spoke to all the young people. I'm not that young, but I was in the room by the grace of God. And he said, to everyone on the right or sort of the people that are conservative, don't fight within the movement. Don't make it about one specific issue. We have to make it about our love for this country and our love for the Constitution and our love for America. And we really have to stick to those values. The fringe issues, the things that we can disagree on, let's find common ground.
Yeah.
Let's all fight together and just have a successful future and make America great. I know it's so trite, but so true. So trite, so true.
Yeah. Well, Erin, I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for coming on the Falkirk podcast. I know we're going to have this continuing conversation, and I look forward to seeing what USA Strong does this year.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
All right. God bless you.